This podcast is sponsored by Intentional Living magazine, your ultimate guide created to help infuse purpose and passion into your everyday life. From expert features that provide valuable insights to thought-provoking content that sparks transformation. This magazine and online platform is a perfect source of inspiration for those who truly believe in the power of intentional choices. Hello, and this episode is all about human design.
Yes, what it is.
And
how you can find out what your design is. Just to let you know that once you've listened to this episode, you'll really want to know what your human design is. So check out the link in the show notes and get your free human design chart.
Yeah, do it. You'll love it. In fact, do it first. Do it first
and
so that
listen.
When you're listening, you can follow along. Enjoy. Hello, Claire.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm good. It looks like I've got my nightie on. What do you think?
I think it's a smashing night. It's like you wouldn't see it. Is it yours or your nana's?
Honestly, I'm sitting here getting ready to talk about human design because we keep promising you that we're going to tell you what human design is and how it works in the world. I spotted myself on the camera and gone, I look like I've got my nightie on. It's not a nightie, it's actually a dress. It just looks like my nana's nightie.
But we've settled in and we're comfy.
We are. We're comfortable now. You've settled back to that seat because I got you to come out your comfort zone. You didn't like sitting here, so you're back over there. You're okay.
I'm all right, thank you.
Okay, can we just talk about human design then?
Oh my God, at last. We've referenced it, haven't we, in every single episode so far, but that's because it is literally infiltrated in everything that we do.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's like weaved in and intertwined in.
It's one of the pillars. It's one of the pillars of the work that we do because it tells us so much about our clients.
Mm-hmm. And it's not even about just working with clients. It's us understanding ourselves, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
So welcome to this episode. And for those of you that have been asking us to talk about human design on the podcast, thank you, because we do need to tell the world about human design because a lot more people do seem to be talking about it. However, we like to, the trainer and educators in us like to make sure that we tell people the right information.
Yeah, I think,
or in a way that it's very useful and empowering as opposed to being manipulative and
negative
and
disempowering. There's so much disempowered information out there, and again, my one energy means that when we found human design, it wasn't because it lit me up so much because I couldn't believe what I'd found out. So I found out about human design at age 50. And the reason that it made me go, oh my God, I need to know about this is because my chart was created in 1970, 3 months before I was born. So it was created in January 1970. I was born in April. And my life purpose is what I'm living now. And how I was like that, well, how can that be? Do you know, 50 years, how can that be? And so I went in deep and I started to understand it. And then I really started to see there were so many different people talking about it. And there are lots of people talking about it in a really disempowered way. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure how that serves anybody by coming from it from a disempowered way. And there's also a lot of people that are talking about it that may have had a reading and then decided they're going to teach it. Mm-hmm. And that can be really disempowering. And we found that through some of the clients that we've worked with who have been literally thrown off, pieced completely from what they've been told about the design and how it impacts on them. And even someone that we spent some time with last week said, oh my God, I feel so much lighter now that you've explained it to me in that way because it's far more empowering to what I was led to believe. Yeah. So it was really important to us that we became accredited in human design before we started to introduce it into our business and weave it through because we want to make sure that we really properly empower the people that we're working with. that we empower ourselves.
And yeah, because it's about embodiment of it as well, isn't it?
And it's all very well saying, oh yeah, I know. When this is the best one. Have you heard of human design? Yeah, I'm a manifesting generator. And I go, oh right, okay. And you just think, God love you. What else do you know? Well, I don't know anything else about that. But someone's told them a nugget about being a manifesting generator. And actually, what human design is the science of differentiation, because it includes so many different elements of lots of different ancient principles, philosophies, coupled with quantum physics and astrology. And some people will think it's woo.
Yeah.
There's science backing a lot of this stuff up. And the proof of the pudding's in the eating. We haven't met anyone yet that isn't true to their design.
Yeah, who doesn't resonate
with it. Yeah.
So going back to basics, human design,
yeah.
On a basic level, what is human design?
So for me, as I've just said, it's a science of differentiation, because it brings together all these different levels of information. It is provided to us in by way of a body graph chart. And that body graph holds so much information about the individual, what they're here to be, do, experience on their soul journey in this lifetime.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for someone to get their body graph and to know what their human design is, what do they need to do?
Okay. So you'll need to know a few things. You'll need to know your name. I'm guessing you've got that. You'll need to know your date of birth. You'll need to know your time of birth, and you'll need to know your place of birth. Because primarily your human design chart is derived from where the planets were aligned at the time and place of your birth. So that's why it's really important. Now, some people don't know what time they were born, so we can help them with that, because we can use kinesiology to find that out. And that people whose parents maybe have passed, or they've been adopted and they don't really know what time they were born. So we can help with that. And that will give us the basics. And then if anyone hasn't got it yet, if you go onto our website, which the details will be
we'll put them in the show notes. You can get your free report from our website for human design.
And it'll give you a snapshot of your design. What else did you ask me?
So what is human design and how do you obtain it?
Okay. So the other thing about human design is also it's the science of the aura.
Yeah.
So the way that we think about it is, the way that I think about it, and I'm a very visual learner, and it's if you imagine yourself sitting or standing in a big glass dome, and your life and everything in it is within that dome. So on this table now, that phone, all of that is in my auric space and your auric space, but so are all your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, all of the things that you said yes to when you meant no, all of the clutter that you might have in your home. All of everything that affects your life is in your auric space. And if you start thinking about it like that, and thinking about it that you're here to shine like a snow globe, you're meant to be lit up in the middle of this. And if you've got that much stuff around you that you don't really want there, how can you shine? And so
there's just no space.
There's no space.
Just clutter.
It's
and
just
stifled. Yeah.
And energy has to flow. And human design is all about energy flow. And it's always looking for energetic completion. So, and we are like beacons. So because it's about energy, we have the way that our human design is like there's certain elements that are literally on all of the time, and we're emanating this energy all of the time.
Which is our magnetism, isn't it? So if you are glowing and you're lit up, then you're going to attract more of the stuff into your aura that you want.
If there's space.
But if you've got stuff in that aura, which is full of stuff that you've said yes to when you really mean no to, it's not giving you space for the good stuff to come in. And we know this because we've gone through the process of shedding a lot of stuff. And obviously that is stuff like beliefs and thoughts, anything that's really negative and doesn't serve us. Even like working with certain clients who took up our auric field, foods, chemicals,
but
stuff in the house.
Like decluttering is such an energetic such a brilliant way to. There's nothing. I cleared out the drawer next to my bed. Bearing in mind that's right by my head.
Yeah.
And I got half a bin bag of crap out of it the other day.
And brought it to my house.
Yeah, it usually comes to your house.
And they've got some stuff in
but
there. No, it's
just
good stuff.
Stuff. And I just think, do you know what? It doesn't need to be there. And it felt so good to just get rid of it. And again, it's just so that energy can flow. The same as money is an energy, that has to flow. So it links to, so what it helps us with, it gives us a blueprint for how we are designed to be, live, experience, and what we're here to experience and how we're here to experience it. And it works on the premise that you are exactly right now where you are meant to be, here and now. But there are bits hidden. There's lots of conditioning. And again, conditioning can get a bad rap for people think, oh, it's conditioning on the, like it's something bad. But on the other side of conditioning, through your growth and through the work that we do, is so much wisdom. So actually, it's a real guide to finding our wisdom, finding what we love, finding what lights us up, finding what our soul purpose is, finding what we're here to communicate, finding what we're here to learn, finding literally what our shadow work we've got to do, finding how we eat, finding literally
how we digest information, what environments we thrive in,
all of that. And so this is when people go, oh yeah, I've had a training course, I'm a manifesting generator, and you just think, oh God.
What else? And
what else?
I've been a Myers-Briggs practitioner for about 18 years. And Myers-Briggs is a really brilliant personality profile, and it stems from the work of a mother-daughter, which stems from the work of Carl Jung, Swiss psychologist, and his archetypes. And that work is still apparent today. And human design is like Myers-Briggs on steroids. It goes much deeper, and it's got elements of the archetypes and that work in there.
All of it. There's 64, the 64 gates, the hexagons are all linked to the archetypes.
So for me, using Myers-Briggs as a tool to in training and education and also coaching. And then I came across human design 3 years ago for me with my coach, and I was like, oh my God, this gets me to understand myself even more.
Yep.
So that's why we thought, we're working with people on this now. More people are hearing about it. We're even speaking to schools and universities about it, because if we understand our human design at an earlier age, it gets us to become who we are meant to be in a shorter space of time. It helps us as parents to understand our children and how different they are, instead of trying to push them down a hole of they should do this and they should do that, because the systems that we try to fit them into are not what they need.
And in corporate too, we're using it for recruitment, for personal development,
team development,
all of the things,
and again, it's quite a brave thing for people to take on, especially some of the businesses that we're working with. It's probably been about 6 months that there's some businesses we've been working on, and they're already seeing the benefits of understanding the differences in their team and how they can use this to enhance gifts and to enhance performance of their people and the business.
Just by understanding it, because it could be a case of just changing the environment for someone to be in an environment where they flourish, and all of a sudden their performance rises.
Yeah. So going back to basics, tell us the 5 types are in human design.
Okay.
Do you want to do the movie analogy? Because that's a really good
it's a good one. So society at the moment, the society that we've all been born into expects us to be all of the things. And especially, we do everything, don't we? We literally wear all the hats. We do all the jobs, especially in entrepreneurs.
Yeah. I think years ago it used to be one of those things that you train people to multitask.
And multitasking was seen as like a badge of honour, but actually all that's done is like, can you imagine, again, go back to that glass aura like that. Whoa, hello, I'm trying to shine here. So you have a type, you have a human design type, which is based on your planetary alignments at the time and place you were born. So the difference between this and the difference between Myers-Briggs works on how you feel that day.
It's like a quiz.
It's almost like a quiz. This is yours and it never changes. It is what it is. And you're born as one of 5 types. And if we use the movie analogy that Claire just mentioned, then we start with the manifestor. Now the manifestors are here to initiate, to inform. They are our leaders, our trailblazers, our kings, our queens, our dictators. So this patriarchal society that lived in, the manifestors are our leaders. So they're here to start the whole process of anything happening. So they're here to initiate and inform, like I've said. So in the film analogy, they would be the film producer, and they're going to say, I've got a brilliant idea for a film. Now, they trust that the right people will hear that call. They don't go looking for them. They just trust it because they're making the film no matter what, come what may. And they trust the right people will come and deliver it. Okay, so that's the first one. Then you've got the generators, which you are, and manifesting generators, which I am. And I'm going to put those together just for this purpose because we've got the same aura. And we are here. We're the builders, the alchemists, we're the butterflies. We're literally here to dance with life force energy and to make stuff happen with the things that light us up. Now, the other types don't create their own energy all of the time. So we have to be lit up to serve us and the wider community. So we, in the film analogy, would be the lights, camera, action. So we're going to make the film.
We're going to bring the film
because we're
to
dead
life.
Excited about it.
Yeah.
Now, if we weren't excited about it, we wouldn't be putting our sacral energy to it. And then the fourth group are the projectors, and the projectors are beautiful, Claire. My mum's a projector. And we know some gorgeous projectors, don't we?
There's quite a lot in our lives, actually. There's only 20% of them in the world, though, isn't there, at the moment?
Yeah, so projectors will be the new leaders of the new paradigm because, again, human design theory works in paradigms and we're straddling a paradigm at the moment. Talk about that later. But our projectors are the high-flying birds. They are the people that see light years ahead. They literally here to make life better for the things that light them up. Okay, so they're here though to be recognised and invited to share, and they're beautiful, beautiful people. So in the film analogy, the projector is the film director. So they're here to make things better. So they'll say, "We'll change that camera there," a bit like Calvin behind the screens here. He'll change the microphone. He'll do this, that, so that we've got the right. A better
when he's telling us to do that
it
intro
again, you
again.
pair of pillocks. Yeah, that's it. So that's the role of the projector. So if you've got project work, you really need a projector on your team. Yeah. So I've just thrown that one in. Anyway, and the fifth group are the reflectors, and there's only 1% of the world that are reflectors, and the reflectors are our sage and our wisdom because they're here to sample. Their aura is a sampling aura. So they're here to experience all of life and they absorb it all. And so in the film analogy, they are the film critic. So they're either here to say, yes, that was great, or no, that was a bloody dog. No good at all. So
they've got they've got all open centers, haven't they? So that none of their centers are defined. So that means that their energy comes from others completely.
Yeah. So we haven't talked about the energy centers yet, but yeah, absolutely. They don't have any centers defined.
And we want to obviously, we don't want to overwhelm you with lots of information on this podcast because obviously it's a lot of information, isn't it? But just to give the key insights into the 5 types. So you've got the 5 types. I'll just reiterate them. The manifestors who are here to lead and initiate and inform. Then you've got manifest and generator, which is Jules, and generators, which is me.
Yep.
We are here to make things happen. We are the light, camera, action. 68% of us combined in the world. I think that figure is. So
I love you with your stats.
I'm quite good at remembering stuff, little things like that.
But you can't remember what you went upstairs for.
Can't remember what I even had for breakfast, but I can remember my stats with my nightie on. And then you've got projectors who are like the film directors. They're the high flying birds who can see where things can be better. And there's only 20% of them in the world. And then you've got the reflectors who are 1% in the world. And we've been privileged to actually meet 2 in all of our studies so far. There's not many.
Some people, like one of the ladies that I learnt my human design through, my accredited through, she pulls them all in. She works with so many, but again, it's the energy. And then she's attracting that energy, so she's bringing that in. So we seem to attract a lot of projectors.
We do,
as well. But so when you know that they're the basic, they're the basics. There's a lot of nuances behind that, but they're the basic type. So for example, would you employ a projector to be a cold calling salesperson.
No, because they've not got that. That's not
their skill set.
Yeah.
And they also don't have the energy all of the time. So they don't know they're going to be able to perform all of the time. And this is why it's almost like, it's like the CV with a secret door.
Yeah.
Because it's got all of the superpowers and all of the magic behind it. So,
okay. So my I'm just thinking about when I learn from you, because Jules is a one energy, and she's like, which is known as the investigator, which we're going into the profile of human design, and she's such a great teacher. So that's why I love to ask her questions, because she's so good with it, with her responses. So we've told you the 5 types, and you will be one of them. And how you can find that out is by going to our website, and we'll, again, in the show notes, the link will be there. And you need your name, obviously, if you can remember it, your date of birth, your time of birth, and where you were born, the location. So for me, Liverpool. For you, it was Germany. So that's, you can get your human design from there, and it gets you a basic report. So the other things that may be useful for you, because this is just an introduction into it, is if we go through the types, I think it might be good for us to talk about
the profile lines.
I don't know whether profile lines might be a bit too in depth, or do we talk about how we make decisions, the strategy and authority?
Okay. So the strategy is about, so we all have a strategy, and they're fixed for each different type. So the manifestor's strategy is to initiate and to inform. Okay. So they're here to start the process. And then we have the authority, and the authority depends on a sequence. It's a bit more complicated. So there's lots of different elements of, if you've got the emotional solar plexus, for example, defined, you automatically have emotional authority.
Yes.
So that's about how you make decisions, but that's a bit more complicated. So we've got that piece. And then we've also got the not self theme and the self theme. So for the manifestors, when they're living in alignment, then they feel a sense of peace.
Yeah.
And calm. And when they're living out of alignment, it's almost like, the word alarm always comes into my head, but it's not alarm. It's like a reminder, a tap on the shoulder. Oh, you're out of alignment. What's going on? They feel anger. And so Gracie's a manifestor, and literally she gets angry just because she can't tune her phone into the car. It's not frustration. It's full on angry. Right. So she's honestly, she's just a pure manifester. The generators and the manifesting generators, we're here to respond to the world, like life. So not what's going on in our head, but we're here to respond to life. So that is our strategy, to respond. And when we are in alignment, we feel a sense of satisfaction.
Yeah.
And when we're out of alignment, we feel frustration. And again, when we feel frustrated, for us, it's just a case of,
that's pissing me off. So what is it? So again, it's self-awareness, isn't it? Yeah. So when you are out of alignment, when you're not you're doing something that you probably don't want to do, and you're pushing yourself. And by the way, when we say don't do stuff that you don't want to do, we're not saying say no to absolutely everything. It's about biggish decisions or work decisions. It's about if you are frustrated, is there someone that you can pass something over to, because it's not going to serve you anyway? And
if it's that
note,
it could be you're frustrated with yourself. It could be you're frustrated because you're struggling to find something, an answer to something. But again, you may not be designed to have the answer come the way that you're
trying to find it in your head.
So this is why it's so much more than just that high level thing. So go back to the projectors. So the projectors feel a sense of success when they're in alignment, and they feel a sense of bitterness. That bitterness can come across as frustration as well, depending on how you feel. And then the reflectors, they feel they have 0 authority. They have to wait a lunar cycle.
Which is like 29 days to make decisions.
And they feel either surprise when they're in alignment, again, go back to the film critic, or they feel disappointment. That film was rubbish. And again, they're the critic. So they're the main things. And I think the other main things that might help are the 6 profile lines. Because Claire is a 3-5 generator with sacral authority. And what that 3-5 means, they're the profile lines. And they come from we're going technical, from the position of your conscious sun and your conscious earth and your unconscious sun. Look at me pointing like that, as if
because you can see the chart.
Sun, I'm seeing my chart in my head, and the unconscious earth, and they form your soul purpose. But there's a gate number and then a dot and the number. I'm not explaining myself. We'll put a picture in the show notes, but that's where it comes from. So your conscious sun and your unconscious sun. So the first number represents how you see yourself and the characteristic traits that you see in yourself. They're very familiar to you. So if you think about, like, the people that you live with in that space, that like your family, the close family, you recognize them like, yep, that's me all over. And then the second number represents how other people or the world see you. But it's also your soul growth in this lifetime. So over time, you will start to see that as well. So they're like the relatives that you might see at Christmas. You know them, but you don't necessarily recognize, you don't know them dead well. Yeah. But over time and with personal development, the quicker you get to know them, the quicker you live in your purpose, right? So this is another like nugget. Yeah. So shall I go through the first 6?
Well, can you just explain me, because you've just gone on about me. So I'm a generator, sacral energy, 3-5. What does that mean to people? So
for Claire, the sacral energy, that's her authority. So she makes decisions based on her gut reaction. It's a yes or a no. It's very binary choice. So that's what that means. The 3-5 represents the number 3 is how she sees herself, and the number 5 is about how the world sees her. So I'm a 5-1 manifesting generator with emotional authority. So I get the sacral yes or no, but I then have to wait 24 hours for me to make a big decision.
Whereas I'm in the moment.
You're in the moment.
With the body.
But the energetic flow goes through waves through the solar plexus. So we have to wait for that wave to settle. And if I still feel like I want to do it 24 hours later, then I'm good to go. So that's that. So the 3-5 is, I'm going to go through 1 to 6 so that the people with the charts now can look at what they are, and then I'll point out the 3-5, yeah? Because then it's at least it's an order. Because the 5-1.
I just feel like for me, I'm thinking about what the people might learn. So what you're going to do, but then given ours as well.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. So number 1, like you said, is the investigator. So the investigator wants to know the ins and outs of everything that lights them up. So if it's something that lights them up, they're just going to go in deep. They'll do the courses, they'll get accredited, they'll do all of the things, and they'll find, get some water. They'll get to the bottom of the nitty gritty of it all. We just have a drink of this.
Some water.
And then people feel safe with the 1 energy because they know that they have the information. Yeah. So if they've got a question, they know that they're going to get the answer, and the answer is going to be assured. Number 2 is the hermit, which is...
Sounds like a shit name, that, doesn't it?
It is a shit name.
Yeah, but it's not. It's a great...
Oh, it's a great thing. Yeah. And sometimes I think, oh God, I wish I wasn't a 2 energy again. But no, what we want you to do is fall in love with your own design. Yeah. But the 2 energy is the hermit energy, and the hermit energy has come to this world and this life with an innate knowing. They just know stuff.
They're also known, what you call them, the intuitive genius.
Intuitive genius, because they know stuff. Yeah. And they don't know why they know stuff, but they just do. And sometimes they feel embarrassed that they know stuff and they've not had to work really hard to get the information.
Or they can't explain why they know it.
But they just know it. But the other thing is they're not, because of that, they're quite shy of can be quite shy of sharing the knowledge. And they also have to have time on their own to make sense of that knowledge. So that's where the hermit bit comes from. And then there's a 3, which Claire's a 3. And if you're a 3, you are here to live life and experience it to the max. And that's how you learn. So you learn through trying things. And you're a perfect 3 energy. Literally, you get bored of something, you go and try it. If it doesn't work, then you know it's not worked. It's not like the end of the world. I mean, sometimes it could be pretty like crazy stuff that you do, like we talked about, like the sweat lodge
and jumping out of planes.
Things like that. Yeah. But you'll know what you like and you don't like. But some people may feel like, oh, why is everything always going wrong for me? It's not. It's just not. You've not found what it is that you like yet, or it's a process of elimination. And it's
knowing that now. Yeah. I wish I'd known that years ago. When you think, oh, I keep trying things and it's not working, and it's like, well, that's part of it. And I do through Myers-Briggs, I did know that I learned through having a go.
Yeah.
This gave me that permission to say, but it's okay.
It's okay.
If you don't like it, to stop, or you make mistakes, you move forward.
The bit that frightens me, the bit that frightens me is, and it's my issue, is that when you've got teenagers that have got a 3 energy.
Which yours have.
Which Alfie's a 6,
well.
But yeah. So I've got, and my husband's a 3 energy as well. They literally are, who knows what they're going to do next. And that's the thing. People love being in their energy because they don't know what you're going to do next. Like, seriously, I remember saying to Gracie, going off on a tangent when she was we were seeing something on the telly and someone was smoking. And I said, you're not going to smoke, are you, Gracie? And she went, oh yeah, I'll give it a try. I was like what? And actually, that was before I knew. Like, seriously, like, holy moly. So that's the 3 energy. So I like to think, rather than trial and error, failing forward, and the quicker you fail forward and the quicker you get through things and the more things you experience, the more time you're going to be able to love life, right? And then the 4 is the opportunist, and the opportunist life is all about their family and all about community, and it's all about the quality of their life is determined by the quality of the relationships they have. And so the 4 energy is literally, people will do business within the community that they know, they will introduce people within the community that they know, and there's that level of trust there. So that's
closeness as well.
Closeness, yeah, absolutely. 4. And then the 5 energy. So Claire and I are both 5s, and the 5 is called the heretic.
Is that the hero?
I don't know what it is.
The hero.
The heretic. But the heretic is, we're here to share a message for the greater good. And our message comes from our life experience, what we're here to share. Now, my life purpose is the left-hand cross of limitation. So I am here to share with people their limitations, but also their upper limits and also all of their opportunities. So it's tricky for me. Like, I feel like the killjoy in my house because I've got all this 3 energy knocking about, and I'm like the one going, oh, that's a bit dangerous.
That's a bit much.
Come on, let's draw it back.
And they're like,
no, we'll have another 10 pints. It's all good. It's all good. So, so the 5 energy as well, it's important, is that they've got this save the date energy. They're here to help people. They come with the solutions. We're really solution based, which is no surprise that we do what we do. But the important thing as well about a 5 energy is that a 5 energy can be projected upon loads, like we've talked about before. God. Claire, you're brilliant at that. Or such and such is crying, can you deal with it? Yeah. And whatever it is, there's a level of
people
obligation.
Come to us for help, don't they? And then we need to protect ourselves.
So what's really important for 5 energy is boundaries.
Yeah.
Massive boundaries. And again, think of your glass dome, what you're saying yes to, how much of it is obligation. Because the thing that I've learned, and this was through, I don't even know I can't remember whether it's sales training or not, when people say, oh God, people just keep putting stuff on me, is to practice the pause. It's literally, someone says, oh, Jules, can you do this for me? And I go, let me have a look. When do you need that by? Like that. And they'll go, well, ASAP, really. And I go, well, I can do it for you, but it's probably going to be, and you look through the diary like that. Before you've even looked through the diary, they've gone.
Yeah.
Because they'll find someone else. So that's a quick tip. Bella tips. Then, so we go to the 6 energy, and the 6 energy is the energy of the role model. But the 6 energy lives the first half of their life as a 3. And then between like 35 and 50, they turn all of their learnings and experience into wisdom, and then they become the role model.
Yeah.
So you can see then, so Claire is seen by the outside world to come with the solutions. But she sees herself as the one that's going in.
Jump in head first.
And now, because of all the personal development work that you've done, you can see that five energy really well. Whereas I see myself as the problem solver. The world sees me as having the information. So together, and our human designs like literally overlap, and we make a complete
human design. And we didn't know that when we got together, did we? But obviously that's what human design does. It looks for completion in others, doesn't it?
So now that I've told you all about that, why don't you tell me about what bits of information have really helped our clients with their performance?
Oh God, that's a big question. Great question. It's so much with me open head centre. I'm going, that's another thing we'll talk about in another episode. So how does it help? First protocol is always, it's the self-awareness piece. It gets them to see themselves and say, wow. I think my perspective was, oh, so there's nothing wrong with me. I'm not broken. I'm just different. I've got my own makeup, and embracing that instead of trying to change, because we've been conditioned to change ourselves to fit into certain systems that society has created for us over the years. And the world is completely different now than it was 5 years ago, 10, 50, 60, 70 years ago. Oh my God. So this is an eye-opener into look at your type, looking at, I mean, I know one of our clients, when she saw that she was a projector, she's a leader in a hospitality company. She had tears in her eyes, and she said, "That makes so much sense to me." She said, "I feel like there's nothing wrong with me," and we were both, "Oh, I know." I was like, "No, there's nothing wrong with you whatsoever."
There's not.
So it's that realization of, wow, look at who I am. And then, oh, wow, look at how different. Or because even though I'm a generator, my daughter's a generator, our charts are completely different. And we're same profile 3-5, but the center wise, we're completely different. So
it's almost like a permission slip to some people.
To be yourself.
It's a massive realization. It opens up the door to understanding where conditioning has happened and where that's holding them back. So we have got another lady that's in our membership, and she cried and she cried and she cried. And we've had loads of tears around this because her dad used to tell her that she was all the names under the sun because she never stuck to anything, and she did loads of different things. And so, she's a manifesting generator, so she's multi-passionate. She can do lots of different things. And there's a part of her chart which is that she's a serial starter. So she's there to kickstart. That's her gift, to kickstart stuff. She's not there to finish it. And there's a whole pressure, almost like, and this is a thing that I've learned as well over the years. If I start reading a book and I get halfway through and it's like wading through treacle, the old me would have carried on. Even though it's like watching a film.
Because you've got to finish it.
You've got to finish it. And actually, no, I've saved days of my life now by going, that shit, and throw it out. Because then I can move on to the next one. And that realization for her was like, oh my God, there's nothing wrong with me. And actually, how can I use that superpower, that kickstart superpower, to help people start things? How can I use that to, one, make me feel better because I'm aligned to the stuff that I'm doing, but also then
to give that energy to people
to someone
who
haven't got it.
Yeah. Again, it's that whole thing about how it helps you and then how it helps others if you're living in that design.
Yeah. And also there's another gorgeous lady in our group, and
they're all gorgeous, aren't they?
They're all gorgeous.
Everyone's gorgeous in our world. They all wear Nana nighties like me too.
They don't. They're quite stylish, our people in our world. But this one lady, she literally sat and cried and said, I have been living my whole life in a disempowered state. And that's so sad. But she was sad, and I said, don't be sad.
Well, allow her to be sad for a little while.
I said, get it out of your system.
Jules likes people to you're in there, aren't you? She's like superwoman looking
So I'm
after
like,
everyone.
come on, you can. Yes, it's sad. Of course,
Allow it
it's
to
sad.
go.
Let's process the emotion. Let's move the energy, but then let's reframe that, because right now you have got a world of wisdom to find beyond that conditioning, and it's like when you dig into that, then you've got then the action plan.
Yeah.
Of how we're going to tackle that.
Yeah.
And like we said in another episode, I can't remember which one it was, where we do like the radiators and drains and we see what lights us up and what doesn't. That coupled with the way that you're designed to be and to experience life just makes so much sense, for sure.
It's so powerful. Absolutely. I'm just thinking, is there anything else? So just to recap, 5 types. You can find out from our website what they are. I think it would be good for us to give the notes at the beginning to get the people to do the chart before they listen to this podcast. So we'll do that in the intro notes. And so to know what your type is, to know what your authority is, so how do you make decisions? Because we don't all make decisions with our head. The head is for question and ideas. Knowing what your self-theme is and knowing what your not self-theme is so helpful. So mine is feeling satisfied. When I have a sense of satisfaction, I know I'm living in my soul's design. If I feel frustrated, I'm out of alignment. So I can then start to say, oh, I'm feeling a little bit frustrated here. What's pissing me off here? Okay, it's that. Okay, let's deal with that and let me get myself back into feeling more joyful and more satisfaction.
But when you say dealing with stuff, so this is the other thing that we say, there's a very big difference between knowing your human design and embodying your human design, because you can know it but do nothing about it. You just say, oh yeah, I'm this, and expect all the magic to come. It's not going to happen. You have to embody it. It's like having a gym membership and not going and expecting to get a 6-pack. It's the same. You're not going to change your life by not just embodying it. So when we talk about shifting the energy, because it is all about movement of energy, it's like shifting that energy out and then alchemizing it, because you don't lose energy, you just change it. So we have to, when we get frustrated, we, like you say, you feel into the body, where is that frustration? And then...
So an example, a good example for me, and we get one from you, as a generator, I love to be around people, and people receive energy from me. And if I'm lit up with whatever it is I'm doing or being, then other people will feel that energy from me. If I'm feeling frustrated and down, so for example, if I'm sitting at home and I've been working from home for 2 days on my own, that is the worst thing, that, because I'm so frustrated, I'm so drained. The best thing for me to do is to go, right, let's shake it up, let's have a dance, let me go and sit in a coffee shop and let me go and sit with other people. That completely puts me back into satisfaction, and I'm ready to go again on whatever it is I'm doing if the thing lights me up. So it's just recognizing that and knowing that some people might like to sit on their own, and again, that's fine. That's where they might get their energy from. I need to be around other people. I need to be doing, I need to be moving, I need to be in nature and connecting to things outside of myself to do that.
But movement is massively important in this, because if you feel stuck in any way, or if you feel, whichever your profile or design, get up and move.
Yeah. Well, music comes on, something that cheers me up, and I'll literally dance around the house. And that sounds quite mad. And if you saw me on my own in the house, it looks a bit weird. And Mark comes in sometimes and goes, what are you doing? And I'm like, dancing. So, but he knows me now. He knows. And I'll literally go and grab my laptop and go home to Starbucks, and he's like, see ya. And he's happy to stay at home because that's how he is. But obviously he does need to be around people at some point, but not as much as me. And for you then, what frustrates you as a manifesting generator? Don't say me.
One thing, because what I have to learn is that manifesting generators are fast.
Oh God,
like we're bloody fast, and we can do so many things at once. So
you are a type that can multitask.
I am, but again, can burn out if I'm doing stuff that that doesn't light me up. So there's a balance here between the masculine and the feminine, and again, the masculine gets a bad rap in life because it's a bad thing, but actually the masculine is what helps us get shit done. But I have spent most of my life living in the masculine because I've been the main bread earner for a long time throughout my life. not now, but throughout that time. So I've literally been the doer. So I have been to the time we're building all of the things, but I've not done the receiving bit until I had my breakdown, until I learnt that stuff. So actually there's a balance there between that stuff. I can't even remember what your question was.
What frustrates you as a
what
manager?
Frustrates me. So my frustration comes from if I've got loads to do, which is the masculine, but then I'm slowing down because someone can't keep up with me.
Yeah, me.
No, it's not. It's no, not necessarily you, but like sometimes because you have a list, don't you? And we do it, and this is why we work well together. I know that Claire needs to go through her list every day with me, and we go through the list. We've dealt with it, and then we crack on. Now, invariably, while Claire's going through a list, I'm doing something else as well. But if I have to stop, my brain's already come up with the answer, and that's the challenge. That's the challenge, especially even at home. Like I can see the answer. It's how I'm designed. I can see the answer, but like Mark is,
he has to.
He's behind me, so he's got to go through the process. And I've already sorted it, and he goes, "Will you let me speak?" Yeah, okay, I'll let you speak. And I go, yeah, okay, like, can I give you the answer now? And I've had the answer since the start. So that's probably one of my frustrations. But again, that's just a learning. And the more you learn about other people's designs and about how other people work, then you obviously
gives them
learn.
it gives you some more patience or gives them space to be them.
And it also gives me time to reflect because I'm off all the time doing all the different things, jet skiing. But you've started doing a bit of jet skiing, just saying.
Yeah, I have, and it doesn't serve me well, does it? It burns me out because I should focus on one thing at one time. But then I think the 3 energy messes me because I get bored sometimes. But the thing's got to light me up. So we are still, by the way, we're still embodying human design. No one's ever fully gone, tick, I'm so personally developed, I don't need to learn anymore. You know, it's a constant journey, like we've always said. We're always learning new things.
What have you learned about wearing a nightie to a podcast?
I quite like it. It's made me think about, I might get like some pajamas, like can we just pajamas and like little headphones, like little earmuffs and slippers and stuff, and get a little blanket and just chat with you on the couch.
That sounds like a plan.
It does look like a nightie and with a black bra underneath. We're the black bra brigade, aren't we?
Are.
I mean, that was so not in many years ago. I would have been mortified with myself having a black bra under a white nightie.
What? We don't care what people think.
I'm absolutely fine with it, to be fair.
I'm absolutely fine with it. So I don't know when this will go out, but we will be launching. We may have already launched it.
Check the show notes
Well,
check the show notes to get your free basic human design report. It's there for you. We are also going to be launching a human design practitioners accredited course. If anyone is interested in becoming a human design practitioner, then come and check us out. We're going to be launching that very soon, and we will be doing that for future for the future, for the foreseeable future. So if it's not for you right at this time and it could just come into your world, then come and see us. Our website, we've got our Facebook group, Navigating Life at Space and Freedom. I think and Instagram, we are Space and Freedom.
And just so that you know that the human design element is part of the Life Freedom Method, and we're working towards getting the Life Freedom Method accredited so that people can facilitate the whole process. Yeah. We talked about the process yesterday. So you'd have to have this element of it to be able to facilitate the whole process.
There is an episode called, it'll be Can We Just Talk About the Life Freedom Method, which is a previous episode. So we'll also tag that in the show notes. Yeah. So thank you for listening. I hope...
I've got another thing.
Oh, go on.
So people that work with other people, coaches, people in well-being, people therapists, people in recruitment, people
yoga
in
teachers.
Business. The accredited stuff would really benefit all of you because it will benefit your clients and the way that you serve your clients.
Love that.
SARS.
So if you want to become accredited in human design, do it with us.
Why wouldn't you?
Good teaching.
Why wouldn't you do it with us?
And you'll have a bit of a laugh as well. And I'll come to the teachings with me new nighties on, if that floats your boat.
Yeah, I think so. I think that'd be a good, maybe that's our thing. In fact, you did say to me, we need a thing. Maybe that's the thing, that you come in a nightie.
And a different nightie every time. Okay, different like lingerie and shit. Yeah. Nana nighties.
Nana nighties, please.
Anyway, so I think we're finished, aren't we? So
we could go on for hours, but let's just knock it on the head.
It's love and light from me. In me nightie.
Ta-ra from me and Nana.